Okay, hello. A quick video today because someone asked me to show you the new DOVRE and also MIME with a completely dry rig. And I thought this is a good idea because one of the reasons we updated MIME, one of many, but one of them was we wanted to have a particular type of reverb available. And we used the same program, but a different preamp in the new DOVRE. And so I thought I'd show you that and what it does and why we did this. Because I think you can sort of somewhat put reverbs into two different supercategories. One, I would say, are naturalistic, realistic sounding reverbs, things that sound either like actual recording equipment like plate reverbs or spring reverbs, or maybe even some of the old digital gear that people would use in studios. This is difficult to do, especially if you have very limited processing power, which is the case with the chips that we use for both these two pedals and also Loke. We're using something called the FV1, which is an amazing chip designed by a guy named Keith Barr, who made MXR and was I think he made Elise's as well. But yeah, in any case, it's a brilliant little chip, but it has its limitations, and one of those is there's not enough signal processing to work with what we call convolution reverbs, and these are the ones that are sort of industry standard now for DSP when it comes to reverb. Now there are ways around that, but it takes up a lot. It's difficult to do, and I think we've achieved that with this specific program, and I thought I'd go through it with you, but it does make sense to do it through a really dry rig. So I'm playing my 1957 Music Master through the Strymon Iridium on the Marshall amp with the room knob set to 0, and it sounds like this. No amplifier would sound like that in the real world, and so the room knob on the Strymon Iridium is probably a convolution reverb using some of the memory available on the Shark processor that is powering it. Now this is a great reverb, and it does sound like you're being sort of dropped into to a bigger room, but everything else stays the same. And that's sort of the difficult thing to achieve. So let's hear that first, yeah? As a bass line. Nothing changed, but we're at midnight. It just sounds like a bigger room. And even at sort of full tilt, mostly the guitar sound stays the same. I think it sounds prettier, but it does change a little bit. But still, I mean, this is an amazing reverb. But yeah, I'm going to take it back to the 0 setting. So there is the other super category of reverbs, which the FV1 is completely capable of doing, and that is sort of colorful, synthy textures, stuff that doesn't necessarily sound like true reverb, but falls in the same category because there are no other categories for it, but allow you to do like pads of synthy stuff. And that stuff is you know, you can easily do that with an FB1, and I think it's a valid thing to do also. Don't get me wrong, it's great. Most of the FB1 based reverbs on the market will do stuff like that. There are a few, very few, that can do a naturalistic reverb, and I think DOVRE and now also MIME are both among this very small club. So let's hear the DOVRE. Even at higher settings. It stays somewhat natural. Now, granted, the reverb here is more of like a springy thing, so it has that pluck. This sort of plop, plop, plop. Which I think is cool, but I mean, it's that's a sort of matter of your taste. But that sounds like the guitar does without the reverb on, but with reverb, as opposed to it changing what the foundation, the guitar itself sounds like, right? So if we move over to the MIME, we can get some of those synthy sounds. So let's try something like this. Or this. Now this is full wet, so let's try it at a lower mix. Now that doesn't sound like a real room, does it now? We can try and shorten it a bit. That still doesn't sound like a real room, right? It's still cool. I mean, I love it. And you can do like... But I think this works better with the intention that you're actually changing everything, right? That you sort of go for that sound. Maybe add some fuzz. So yeah, I switched from the AI written program to the human written program that was also featured in the MIME I, which has a dynamics engine built in, and so the reverb ducks away as you hit it hard, and I think that sounds really cool too. You can make it sort of bloom into that doesn't sound real, right? But that's not a problem if you don't want it to sound real. So, you know, if this is what you're going for, it's a really cool sound. Pretty sweet. I love that stuff, but I prefer a natural sounding thing, and so this is what at the upper end, and it's not going to sound as natural as you increase it. You can go way further. But I mean, it still remains somewhat natural, right? But especially at lower settings. What it does is it just removes some of that dryness from the amplifier, which is exactly what I'm trying to do. Versus yeah, that's that. MIME has the same program, a little bit more elaborate reverb. So we should probably hear that too before we quit. But the mix is fixed on DOVRE, and it's about like something like that, I think. So yeah, if you have all the fuzzes you want and you just want that reverb thing, then maybe MIME is the one to go for. You get 3 different programs, 2 of them being more dramatic reverbs, one of them being the pretty much the same sort of naturalistic reverb that we placed into DOVRE. Or if you want to just, you know, a simple fly rig thing with a really dynamic and beautiful fuzz and a really natural yet interesting sort of springy reverb, then, you know, maybe DOVRE is the key. And so I think that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and hey, you know, go get one now. Why not? You know, treat yourself. It's almost Christmas. Okay. Have fun. I'll see you soon, I think. And yeah, like and subscribe. Tell your friends, you know, tell your mother. Check out this video.